Hello and welcome to Dad Got This. We're answering the tough questions like, can I make another British classic dish in my Ninja Woodfire and not piss off a bunch of British people? And why do jokes about lifts work so well? That second one's easy, because they work on many levels. So far I have made a few British dishes. I've made a shepherd's pie, I've done an English Sunday roast dinner, with mixed results with the British folks. Some said I did okay, some were highly upset. And they told me I need to try cauliflower cheese. No clue what it was, so I had to look it up, and this will be my first attempt. To do it, I've got cauliflower, 2 big heads. Let's cut them up. Now here on this side of the pond, I've had a dish similar to this. It's just broccoli and cheese casserole, but y'all do it with cauliflower, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, we're gonna pop this little bottom part out. Nope, that didn't work. I'm trying to do is get that worked a little better. And we want to break it up into florets, which is just basically those bits. You can probably break them up smaller if you want. I love broccoli and cheddar casserole, so I have a feeling I'm probably gonna like this. All right, and we'll do the same thing over here, busting more of the middle out. I'm just breaking up the really big ones into something a little more manageable. Let's go rinse these in the sink. Next up, we need to season our cauliflower. So we're gonna take it and put it in a big bowl. Hopefully you have a bigger bowl than I do. We're gonna coat it with some extra virgin olive oil or any oil that you like that has a nice flavor. I like this one because it has good flavor. Give it a nice coating. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I'm gonna hit it with some granulated onion. You know what? This might be better on a sheet tray. Like I said, I'm gonna hit it up with some granulated onion, some granulated garlic, a little bit of sea salt, and a tiny bit of black pepper. Normally, I would have just used Dad Dust, which is 50% granulated garlic, 50% granulated onion, and a splash of MSG. Apparently the MSG pissed off the British people, so I'm leaving it out. We're just gonna really get this all nice and coated, like so. We're gonna grab our air crisp basket for the wood fire, and we are ready to head outside to the wood fire. Grab your pellet hopper and fill it with your favorite pellets. I'm using Smokin Pecan pellets today. And give it the dad shake. The dad shake either compacts the pellets and makes it burn better, separates the pellets and gives it lots of air and makes it burn better, or does absolutely nothing but makes me feel like it burns better. I do it every time. We're gonna set it to smoker, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and 1 hour. After the startup procedure's done, we're gonna pop our cauliflower in. You say you like brisket, ribs, and pumpkin pie, but can you handle the dad jokes that come with them? My cookbook, Bad Jokes, Good Food, has over 24 woodfire recipes guaranteed to make you hungry and groan at the same time. Order your copy now at dadgotthis.com. And now we're on to the cheese portion of the cauliflower cheese. And for me, I've got some medium cheddar and some Gouda. I know I should have something called Red Leicester, but we don't have that here in America or anywhere where I could find it. So these are the cheeses I have. What I did do to them was I cold smoked them yesterday for 2 hours. I just threw them in the wood fire, on the rack, hit it on cold smoke, and let it run. If you don't have cold smoke, you can skip that as an option, but they smell fantastic. So they already smell smoky, which is gonna add a wonderful flavor, I think, to our cauliflower cheese. We need 2 cups of each. These little containers are about 2 cups. Smells really good. It is now time to make our cheese sauce, or what in some of the recipes I found called a Mornay sauce. Looks like a cheese sauce to me. Take a nice wide pan, put it over medium to medium-low heat. 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Once that's fully melted, you're gonna go in with 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Cook this and whisk it for about 2 to 3 minutes, just enough to cook all this flour out. Once you start getting a slightly brown, nutty color, you're good to go. And now we're gonna slowly whisk in 1 cup of whole milk and 1 cup of heavy cream. You wanna do it a little at a time, let it really kind of incorporate and mix, and then add a little more. You don't wanna add it all at once. I don't know why, but everywhere that I see that does these kind of things, that's what they say to do. That's what I do, and it always comes out pretty good. It's gonna look horrible for a little while, but don't worry. It'll eventually turn into something kind of smooth looking. You have to lower your heat. You don't want to burn it. And I believe what we've made is called a béchamel sauce. To this, we are going to add some spices. A teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of granulated onion, and a teaspoon of granulated garlic. And now we're going to put in about half of this cheese. Now we'll go in with the Gouda. It looked a little thick, so I poured in about a half to a quarter cup more of whole milk. I don't think it's supposed to be loose, like super pourable, but I also don't think it's supposed to be solid. I'm going with a little bit more. It's probably 3/4 of a cup in total additional milk. Now I think you could skip this step if you want it super thick, go with that. But for me, I think this is going to be a nice consistency. Probably a good time to give it a taste. Cheesy, nice. Might add a little extra pinch of salt, something like another teaspoon in total. We're going to set this aside and just kind of keep it warm until those cauliflower are ready. It's been an hour. Let's go get our cauliflower. Not bad. Smoky looking, some little charred bits. Still got its shape. It's not all the way falling apart. Maybe next time I'll do it for like 45 minutes instead of an hour, but looks pretty good. Probably could have used about 4 heads of cauliflower instead of 2 for this recipe, but hey, I didn't know. Normally, you would do it in something like this, a big casserole dish, but I'm gonna do mine in this so I can do one now and one later or 2 later, however many it makes, so that my family can have it hot and fresh for dinner. So I'm gonna take a couple of these and load them in here. I have my Mornay sauce, which I have just warmed up a little bit. Pour some on there. Here's where our extra cheese comes in. We're gonna top this with some additional cheddar, some additional Gouda. This is where I might lose some of you British folks. I'm gonna make a breadcrumb topping for it. I just like that crunchy texture on these style dishes, so 2 cups of breadcrumbs, 50% panko, 50% regular, whatever breadcrumbs you like. This is a half a cup of unsalted butter, melted. You wanna mix this until you get kind of like a wet sand consistency. This is gonna go back on the wood fire at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna need to tent it with some tin foil as it goes to stop it from browning too much. We'll cross that road when we come to it. Let's get this on the wood fire. I did set it for the air crisp setting and I left wood fire on. One benefit of using this little crock was it only took 15 minutes and this thing was bubbly and they're browned and it looks perfectly ready to go. So you might have to adjust your time if you do the whole casserole thing or if you put more than one of these little crocks in there at a time. But what you are looking for is bubbly deliciousness and a browned top. I gotta figure out a picture for the thumbnail. This is either gonna work really well or be a terrible idea. Kind of worked. Guess we have to try it. Here we go. Probably gonna burn my mouth. I know I am. I should wait. I won't. Oh man. Yeah, that is all kinds of smoky and all kinds of delicious. It may not be traditional, but I love the crunch of that breadcrumb on there. There's so much good smoky flavor packed in here. The cold smoked cheese, the smoked cauliflower. When you smoke it at the end with the breadcrumbs. Ooh, a little cheese pull. That is decadent. I happen to be very hungry at the moment, so pardon me. So that's this American barbecue guy's take on the British classic of cauliflower cheese. I quite like it. If you quite like this content, please do the likey subscribe thing. YouTube loves it when you leave a like. I love it when you leave a comment. I answer just about every comment in my comment section. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. You get all kinds of benefits, but if you can't, subscribing is enough. So with all that out of the way, I guess there's only one question left to answer. How does Harry Potter enter a room? Through the Griffin door. Yeah, pretty bad. Dad may tell horrible dad jokes. Make a decent attempt at a British classic dish. But one thing Dad will never do is an outro. So that's it. Bye. This is the part where I thank all of my members. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for your support and rock on. I don't know why I said rock on, but rock on.